So in this lecture we are going to see the chemical calculations. Chemical calculation. What is the chemical calculation? How we can define different concentration of any chemical. Okay, that comes under the chemical calculation. Okay, so that may be defined a different way. Okay, so you can say that can be defined as a weight by weight, weight by volume, volume by volume. Okay, we'll see one by one here. So what is the solution mean? First of all, we should know what is the solution mean. Okay, it's a homogeneous mixture. It's a homogeneous mixture of two or more component. Two or more component, right? Two or more component. So component which is in the greater extent or the major extent is called a solvent. It's called a solvent. Okay, and the component which is in the smaller extent or less extent, that is called solute. So solvent is in the major extent, solute is in the small extent. Okay, in most of the cases we use water as a solvent, but other liquids or the substances can also be used as a solvent. Remember this. Okay, other substances can also be used as a solvent. The term concentration indicates quantity of solute present in solution. Quantity of solute present in solution. Remember, in solution, I am talking in solution, not solvent, right? So the concentration of solution can be expressed by two ways. One is by chemical method and other is by physical method. Other is by physical method. Now, see how we are going to express the concentration of solution, or what are the different ways by which you can express the concentration of solution. See, this is what the physical method or physical units. Okay, and these are what the chemical units, right? So in physical unit you can define it by weight percent, then weight by volume percent, then volume by volume percent. We'll see each and every term one by one in detail. Okay, and here on the volume basis, chemical units is again classified into two subclass. One is volume basis and other is weight basis. So in the volume basis, what are the things over there? You can define the molarity. Okay, in terms of molarity you can express the concentration. In terms of normality, in terms of formality. This is for the volume based. This is for the volume based chemical units. And on the weight basis, you can define the concentration as molality. Okay, not a molarity, it's a molality. And mole fraction. Now we'll see physical units. One by one. See, weight by weight, you can say mass by mass, then weight by volume and volume by volume. See, now you can define mass percent. That is weight by weight. Here the mass of solute is considered with the mass of solution. Okay, so what we are doing here, see, so mass percent. How you are going to find out mass percent? See, mass of solute, or weight of solute upon weight of solution, or the mass of solution. Very important. You are considering the solution here into, take it in the bracket, right, and into 100. So in this way you can define weight by weight. एक सॉलिड दूसरे सॉलिड के अंदर है तो ये आप यूज कर सकते हो, बराबर। कि आपके एक नमक, थोड़ा सा नमक है और आपने शुगर में डाल दिया, तो ये यूनिट आप बोल सकते हो, है ना। जो कि आप सॉलिड देखते हो मार्केट में, आपका टाल्कम पाउडर होगा या जो भी सॉलिड यूज कर रहे हो आप मार्केट में से, कॉस्मेटिक हो या अदर प्रोडक्ट्स हो, so you will see this unit over there. So what is a volume percent? So here you are considering volume of solute upon the volume of solution, not solvent, upon the volume of solution. So see here, volume percent is given by, see, volume of a solute. Volume of solute upon volume of solution. Volume of solute upon volume of solution, and this whole term is multiplied by, okay, 100. So that will become volume by volume percent. Volume by volume percent, right? Volume by volume percent. Right? Now we are proceeding towards, before that you see that whatever liquids you are using in day-to-day life, like shampoos you are using, and you are using syrup, medicine, tonic and all that. So hair oil is there, deodorants are there. So these are the things over where you can see volume by volume percent, उसका जो पैकेज आता है वहां पे आप वॉल्यूम बाय वॉल्यूम परसेंट यूनिट देखोगे. What is mean by mass by volume percent? Mass by volume. See that you can say here it is weight by volume. You can say it as a weight by volume percent. Okay. So again same. You are considering the weight or the mass of solute and volume of solution. Volume of solution. See, weight or mass of a solute, and volume of solution you are considering here. So you can write here W by V. W by V. What they are saying, an example would be 0.9% of NaCl solution, solution or medical saline solution that contain how much salt, है ना, जो खायचं मीठ असतं आपलं नमक जो है, so it's a 0.9 gram. It's a 0.9 gram taken in how much of the solution? 100 ml of solution. Okay, I'm not talking about solvent. So solution is this salt plus solvent, that will become solution. So total volume is 100 ml. Now mass by volume percent. Okay, so as I told you, you are taking mass of a solute and volume of a solution that we have discussed. So numerator and denominator have different unit. Here numerator is in the gram. Numerator is in the gram and denominator is in the ml. Okay, so they have different unit. So concentration unit is not a true relative unit. Okay, but this is an easy method to define the concentration. Okay, so you can see here again that formula is given, mass upon volume percent. Okay, mass upon volume percent is equal to mass of solute in gram and volume of solution in ml into 100 into 100. Okay, you will get this term. Right now we are proceeding towards volume basis. From which chemical units? In the chemical unit we are going to see volume basis. If you see first slide, here it is. Chemical units are classified as a volume basis and as a weight basis, out of which we are just listening to now volume basis. So what is the first term in the volume basis? It's a normality. Normality. What is a normality? Normality is defined as the number of equivalents. What we are taking? Number of equivalents of solute percent in 1 liter of solution, or 1 decimeter cube of solution, or 1000 ml of solution, or 1000 centimeter cube of solution. So what is normality? It's a number of equivalent of solute. Now we should learn what is the number of equivalent of solute, right? Number of equivalent of solute in 1 liter of solution. In 1 liter of solution. Now what is the number of equivalent of solute? It's the amount of a solute in gram, amount of solute, not a solvent, amount of solute in a gram upon equivalent weight of solute, upon equivalent weight of solute. You are taking upon equivalent weight of solute. So this is a formula now, see. Okay, now put this one in above equation where it is at this place. Okay, so this is what the number of equivalent of solute, and the formula for number of equivalent of solute is here. This is what the formula for number of equivalent of solute, right? Now, see, therefore normality, put this as it is in this equation. So what will happen? Amount of solute in gram upon equivalent weight of solute. This is the formula here. Amount of weight in gram upon equivalent weight of solute into this term now, volume of solution in dm cube. Therefore, here 1 upon volume of solution in dm cube or liter. Okay, so whole formula of normality is here now, right? N is equal to W upon E into 1 upon V. What is W? It's a weight or amount of solute in gram. E is the equivalent weight of solute. V is the volume of solution. This is what the significance of these terms. Okay, right? Now, see, for acid-base reaction, how we can find out the equivalent weight of acid, right? So molar mass of acid we are going to consider. Molar mass of acid upon its basicity. And for base, molar mass of a base upon its acidity. For what this formula we are using? This is to find out equivalent weight. Right? Molar mass. That is, you can say molecular weight upon its acidity or basicity, depend. If acid is there, then molar mass of acid upon basicity of acid. If base is there, then molar mass of base upon acidity of that base. Right? Now, see, these are the acids. It gives 1 H plus ion, it gives 2 H plus ion, means its basicity is 2, its basicity is 1, it gives 3 H plus ion, therefore its basicity is 3, right? See here. Right? So, molecular weight upon 1 for first case HCl, here molecular weight upon 2, here molecular weight upon 3, right? Similarly for base, NaOH gives only 1 OH, okay, or it react with only 1 H plus, it react with 2 H plus, right? So what will happen? Your molecular weight upon 1, your molecular weight upon 2, that will give you the equivalent weight. Okay. Now for complexometric titration, we need to consider the charge carried by the ions. We'll see that again. Now see, if there is a redox reaction, reduction and oxidation occurs simultaneously. Now here in this case, as you know that, what is redox reaction? It's a gain and loss of electron. Right? So you are considering now, you are focusing for electron. Now see, equivalent weight of an oxidizing agent. What is oxidizing agent? It carries out oxidation of other species. That is what oxidizing agent. Okay. Now, and reducing agent means it's carry out reduction of other species. So reducing agent carry out the reduction of other, but it itself undergoes oxidation. Oxidizing agent carries out the oxidation of other, but it undergoes reduction. म्हणजे ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंटचं स्वतःचं रिडक्शन होतं आणि तो दुसऱ्याचं ऑक्सिडेशन करतो. एजंट आहे तो, ऑक्सिडेशन करण्याचा एजंट आहे. आणि रिड्युसिंग एजंट दुसऱ्याचं रिडक्शन करतो, पण स्वतःच काय होतं? ऑक्सिडेशन. अँड वी नो दॅट व्हॉट इज ऑक्सिडेशन? Oxidation is loss of electron. And reduction, what is the reduction? Reduction is gain of electron. It takes the electron. Okay, very basic definition. So equivalent weight of an oxidizing agent, how we can find out? It's a molar mass of oxidizing agent, right? Molar mass of oxidizing agent, आणि त्याचं काय झालेलं आहे, रिडक्शन झालंय, म्हणजे त्यांनी काय केलेलं आहे, इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन केले. सो नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन ऍक्सेप्टेड बाय सिंगल मॉलिक्युलर आयन. ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट आहे, दुसऱ्याचं ऑक्सिडेशन करतोय, पण स्वतःचं रिडक्शन होत आहे. स्वतःचं रिडक्शन होतंय म्हणजे काय होतंय, इट टेक्स द इलेक्ट्रॉन. हाऊ मेनी इलेक्ट्रॉन इट टेक्स? नाउ फॉर रिड्यूसिंग एजंट, so it's molar mass of that reducing agent upon number of electron lost by that molecule. Number of electron lost by that molecule. We'll see one example. है ना, याचं स्वतःचं काय झालंय, ऑक्सिडेशन झालंय. स्वतःचं काय झालंय, ऑक्सिडेशन, आणि याने दुसऱ्याचं काय केलंय, रिडक्शन. बट व्हॉट इज ऑक्सिडेशन? स्वतःचं ऑक्सिडेशन झालं म्हणजे काय, व्हॉट इज ऑक्सिडेशन? लॉस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, as we have seen here. Loss of electron, oxidation means. So here therefore we are taking number of electron lost. Now see the example. Fe3 plus react with Sn2 plus, then what happens? See here, two ions of Fe3 plus. Okay, here only one ion. Now what happens, it gives 2 electron. It gives 2 electron. 2 plus चा काय झालाय, 4 plus झालाय, म्हणजे याने काय केलंय, इलेक्ट्रॉन दिलेले आहे. आणि याचं काय झालंय, 3 प्लस चा काय झालाय, 2 प्लस झालाय, म्हणजे याने इलेक्ट्रॉन घेतलेला आहे. याने इलेक्ट्रॉन घेतलेला आहे म्हणून तो 2 प्लस झालेला आहे 3 प्लस चा, राइट? नाउ सी, दिस इज ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट. दिस इज ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट अँड दिस इज अ रिड्युसिंग एजंट. ओके, कारण काय होतंय, कसं म्हणूयात आपण, सी Fe3 plus takes the electron and it undergoes reduction. Itself undergoes reduction. म्हणजे हा कोणता एजंट आहे, ऑक्सिडायझिंग एजंट आहे. Now Sn2 plus loses electron. It loses electron means it undergoes oxidation. मग हा कोणता रिएजंट आहे, हा रिड्युसिंग एजंट आहे. हा रिड्युसिंग एजंट आहे, बरोबर. नाउ therefore equivalent weight of Fe3 plus is molar mass upon 1. Why 1? Molar mass upon 1. Why? Because only one electron is taken by one iron atom, one Fe3 plus ion. Okay, and why here it is 2 for Sn2 plus? Because one Sn2 plus gives 2 electron. It gives 2 electron, therefore upon 2. So this will help you to find out equivalent of Sn2 plus, and it will find out to get the equivalent weight of Fe3 plus. See, even you can find out equivalent weight for ions also. Ions also. Okay. Now here we should say atomic mass. Okay. Here they are writing molar mass because this is the atom. This is the atom, right? Ion, right? This is the atom. It's ion, right? So instead of it, you can take it, consider as an atomic mass. So now see what happened in case of KMnO4. KMnO4 under the acidic condition, under the neutral condition, and under the alkaline condition, it behaves in a different way. See, in acidic condition, it takes 5 electrons. In neutral condition, it takes 3 electrons. In alkaline condition, it takes 1 electron. So to find out the equivalent weight of KMnO4 in the acidic condition, its molar mass should be divided by 5, right? In the neutral condition, molar mass of KMnO4 should be divided by 3 to get its equivalent weight. Okay, here is also you are getting equivalent weight, but this is for acidic condition, this is for neutral condition, and in the basic condition it takes only 1 electron, therefore molar mass upon 1. Okay, so this will give you the equivalent weight of KMnO4 in the basic condition. Okay, so in a broad sense, for acid base, if you want to find out equivalent weight, so you have to take molar mass of acid or base upon its acidity or basicity. For the redox reaction, you have to consider gain or loss of electron. So molar mass of that particular species or ion upon number of electron loss or gain. And for the precipitation titration or the complexometric titration, you are considering valency and charge over there. So molar mass upon valency. Molar mass upon valency will give you the equivalent weight of that species. Okay, this is how whole the equivalent weight can be calculated for the different species. Okay, now what happens here? In most of the cases, what happens? The basic advantage in dealing with the equivalent weight is any two species will always have the stoichiometric ratio 1:1, which may not be possible in case of molar ratio. Okay, suppose if A and B are the two species react with each other, okay, and number of equivalent of A is equal to number of equivalent of B. In that case, you can do the calculation using VA-NA is equal to VB-NB, or N1V1 is equal to N2V2, right? But what is disadvantage? What is disadvantage? See, here sodium bicarbonate react with HCl. Here it takes only one proton to form sodium. Here sodium carbonate takes one proton to form sodium bicarbonate, and here sodium carbonate takes two protons to form NaCl. So in both the cases, equivalent weight is going to change. Here what you need to do? Here molar mass upon 1 to find out equivalent weight of what? Of the sodium carbonate. In this reaction, molar mass of sodium carbonate need to find out by using equivalent weight of sodium carbonate need to find out by using molar mass upon 2, because it takes the 2 proton. It takes 2 proton. Okay, as we have seen in the first definition, number of proton or acidity and basicity, right? Number of proton gain or loss or acidity or basicity, right? Now, this is the first example. First example, what happens? Okay, so we are going to find out normality of the solution. Okay, 3.6 gram of oxalic acid, dihydrate molecule. It's a dihydrate molecule. 2 water molecules are there, are dissolved, and the volume is made up to what? 150 ml. Calculate the normality of the solution for acid-base titration, normality of the solution for redox titration. Now first see, molar mass of what? Oxalic acid. How many proton it gives? 2 proton it gives. Okay, so what we are going to do? It's a molar mass upon 2. What is a molar mass? It's a 126, right? And these are the proton given. So what is its equivalent weight? Now this is equivalent weight. So to find out molarity and normality, we know that how much gram is taken now. See, weight of solution in a gram, right? So 3.6 gram is taken. If you see in the example, it's a 3.6 gram is taken, right? Upon equivalent weight into 1 upon volume. 1 upon volume. So ml is converted to the liter, and 150 ml upon 1000 will get converted to the 0.15 liter. So therefore here it is 0.15, right? So this is what, and after calculation the normality you are getting is 0.381. 0.381, right? You can see on the screen. Now what happens here in this case? For the redox reaction, see, it undergoes redox reaction. What happens here? 2 molecules of CO2, 2 atoms of H plus ion, and 2 electron. Whether it is taking electron or losing electron, it is losing electron. So it undergoes oxidation. As I said, loss of electron is called oxidation. It's called oxidation. So what is the molar mass? You know the molar mass. It's a 126. And how many electrons are lost? It loses 2 electrons. It loses 2 electrons. So 126 upon 2 will give you the 63. What is this? It's the equivalent weight of your oxalic acid. So by putting this value, this equivalent weight in above formula, you can find out the normality of solution. Okay. So now we are proceeding to the molarity. Okay, for this lecture, whatever topic we finished, it's over. We'll see molarity in the next lecture. Molarity in the next lecture. Thank you.